what's the thing we want least of today? Rules governing behavior. Disunity, chaos, all the result of negative thinking, negative opinions. Culture. Culture is the act of training, disciplining, or refining the moral and intellectual nature of man. Fahamme Rasool says that painting, art, and dancing is not culture, and singing adds very little to it. Culture is education. Education in farming, education in industry, education in trade, as well as art, but not the art that we just see people paint things, but not this kind of art. Okay? That's not the art that's being referred to, it's the education in art. Culture is the science of government and power, and culture is the knowledge of law and justice. Culture brings order out of chaos. See? Diametrically opposite. And culture makes a man fit to meet his God. Frolicking and dancing is not culture. Hence the need for us to produce or create a positive idea about culture. History. History is a continuous, systematic narrative of past events that's relating to our people and our countries. I did not say country. Okay? That is a negative idea. We have been told we have one country, and that country is named what? Go with an A. Next letter's F. Africa. I am not saying Africa is not ours. What I am saying is that Africa is not all that is ours. We're talking about producing a positive idea about history. The negative idea that we currently have is that we have a country of origin. And we only have one country. Well, we have that one country, but we also have many others. Remember the lecture I gave on the creation of life, wherein I taught that life originated where? In the torrid zone that belts the earth. And that torrid zone is 20 degrees north and 20 degrees south of the equator and encompasses every land that it touched. Every land that falls within that band is the original Africa or Ethiopia. And life did not occur in one location with one dude, one gal. Life was spontaneous within the torrid zone in many locations. We need to create a positive idea about history and not allow ourselves to be relegated to one location. That's not true. A positive idea about our history is a history that is free of the restraints currently in place that attempt to place all known or observable facts of our history within the time frame established for the universe by the dominant culture. Right? It's a second positive thought about history. Right? They assert that the world and man and everything in it is how old? 6,000 years. And they have spent a lifetime trying to make everything fit in that paradigm. A positive idea about your history says, look at some of those monuments. We got monuments older than that. All right? free yourself from the restraint of those negative opinions. You cannot harmonize. Everything is less than 6,000 years except this temple, which is 3 times that old. Pick one. Pick right. Pick right here. Right. Probably your left out there. All right, so that's the second positive idea about history. Only by examining our historical record for ourselves will we begin to see and understand that we have a history that extends back more than 50,000 years and is older by more than 34,000 years than the history of anybody else. And I cut it off there. It's actually older than that. But I cut it off there because it's hard enough to get you to give up a negative opinion about history without, making you think that what I'm suggesting is impossible. It's not. Matter of fact, how old did they say Lucy was?
5 million.
Huh?
5 million? 6? Okay.
Well, I don't know. That's what I asked.
6,000 right there.
But she's older than any 6,000 years. All right. See, a positive idea about history. A positive idea about religion provides an understanding that our religion is our way of life. It is not some special effort you make to conform to something on Sunday or whatever your holy day happens to be that you do not do every other day of the week. Okay? Your religion must be your way of life. And for us to be successful, it can be no other way. All religions are based on the worship of a people's ancestor. Every one of them, there's not one you can name that's not based on the worship of a people's ancestor. Okay? Coupled with the worship of someone's ancestor is an idea about God. That's the long, the short, the top, the bottom, and the middle of religion. There's nothing else to say about religion. Together, these two things constitute religion. In the case of our people, religion is not a practice that is separate and apart from the sciences and the arts that it promoted and developed. And that is what we have to return to. Okay, I see a frown. Somebody don't quite understand what that means? All right. In conclusion, let us try and understand that unity is a science. It's not going to happen because you tell somebody, we need to learn to love one another. Love is a feeling. Love is an emotion. Has anybody ever successfully taught an emotion? Well, how do you generate love among the people then? You generate love by establishing the conditions that promote the feeling of love, that promote the feeling of I want to be with you, to promote the feeling of I enjoy being with you, to promote the feeling of I enjoy looking forward to being with you. I enjoy our next time because I enjoyed our last time together. That is done by circumstance, by conditions. A child comes into the world. Whoever creates the condition where that child sees, I can depend on you for food, I can depend on you to make that really cruddy feeling that I have go away and clean me up. Okay? Whoever creates a condition where when that child is frazzled or upset or nervous or afraid or whatever, is going to come and give comfort. That person is whom that child is going to learn to love. And you take that child away from its parent and put it in another situation where it receives those same things, and guess what that child will learn to do?
Love.
Love that party. If we want to learn to love each other, what must we do then? We have got to create those conditions, not have those conditions forced upon us. Because all force does is make you want to get out from under. So in conclusion, again, let us try and understand that unity is a science. It follows a set of procedures in order for it to become a reality. So we must now put Mayat to work to achieve racial unity. The seemingly magical law of attraction is spiritual or cyclical in its operation. Concisely stated, the law of attraction is this, quote, throughout the universe, like objects attract like objects. Long and short. The correct utilization of this law requires the conscious projection of creative and constructive thoughts into the universal mind, so that those thoughts, which are objects, in accordance with the law, combined with like thoughts that are already existent in the universal mind, and then return to the minds from which they were projected on a physical plane. Upon the return of the projected thought into the universal mind to the mind of the projector, a more complete and detailed thought is presented. This is so because a thing must exist in the spiritual world before it can have existence in the physical world. Our ancestors phrased this condition thus: as above, so below. So let us begin to create above a new reality for ourselves in order that it can manifest here below.
If you're driving through the country on a lazy afternoon, or you're watching your children playing